Today we're going to take a look at the extensive range of plastic trunking from D-line. Okay, before we go any further, I've got a question for you, Gordon. Why is it D-line trunking?
That's a good question, Gary, and the answer is staring you in the face. If we take a closer look at the actual trunking itself, you will notice the shape of it, Gary.
Yeah, here's the letter D.
Yes, or half circle, and that obviously is the first of many little differences we used to see in rectangular trunking. Well, let me tell you, the first one is this range nests like a Russian doll. We'll come on to sizes soon, but the fact you can nest them inside each other, it makes it great for transportation. But let's have a look at the trunking itself. So the biggest change people will see between this and rectangular trunking is it's a single component. There's no separate base and lid. If I hinge this open...
Oh, right, the lid stays attached. Could be quite handy, obviously, to rest cables in some applications as well, couldn't it, while you're wiring?
That's it. So, and then it also comes with a plastic film on, which protects it during transportation. So a lot of trunking gets scratched and things like that. We could use that during first fix. Flip it over, and all of the range is self-adhesive with this foam tape. Again, just peel the backing off and you're ready to go.
So that's really good, isn't it? So standard 2 metre length, it comes with a hinged lid, the film that protects it, and sticky back. That's great, isn't it?
Yeah, and a huge range of sizes, so let's have a closer look at what you can get. So let's start with the smallest in the range, the micro. So we're not on part numbers when it comes to the D-line range. The micro 16 by 8 millimeters. Or to put that in reference to a cable, here's a single alarm signal cable that we've put in there, so very useful for those kind of installations. Stepping up to the Micro Plus, so that's 20 by 10 millimeters, and just to give you an idea, we can fit 2 category 6 data cables in there comfortably. Probably one of the most popular ones will be this one, the Mini 30 by 15 millimeters, and in there we've put 2 twin and earth, 2.5 twin and earth cables, or as Gary would like to say, 2.5 twin and CPC. If we just take a moment to open this up, we'll see another great D-line product, won't we, Gary?
Yeah, we've got the Safe D clips. They've got an extensive range of clips, metallic clips, in order to prevent surface wiring systems from premature collapsing in the event of a fire. We just fitted a couple into this trunk in here.
Yeah, so just hinge that back on. And then the range continues. The Mini Plus 40 by 20 millimeters, the Maxi 50 by 25 millimeters, and then the Maxi Plus 60 by 30 millimeters. And just to give you an idea there, we've filled this up with a vast array of different twin and earth cables from 10 millimeters, 6 millimeters, 4 millimeters. Yeah, there's a good selection you can get in there, but obviously remember grouping and spacing requirements would still apply.
That's got the sizes covered, and we only showed white there, but looking down here, Gordon, there is some other colours in the range.
Well, there is. There's one that'll keep you incredibly happy, Gary. It's in here somewhere. Just get it out of the Russian doll. It's the magnolia finish. Obviously, a lot of houses, when they're first built, are painted magnolia.
Well, mine's been up for 15 years, and a lot of our rooms still are magnolia. Should put it against the wall, show how good it is.
Yeah, so that's in contrast, obviously, to the white. Obviously, brilliant white. Yeah, so it's almost invisible against a magnolia surface. But that's just the start of the colours. There's a red to keep the fire alarm people happy. We know they like to scatter that around buildings, so you can tell where that fire alarm cabling is. But then we're into some other colours. Black is incredibly popular at the minute, they tell me.
Yeah, I think you've told me many times that black is the new white.
Yeah, well, it's popular in the Newcastle area where you can pair it up with the black and white.
Oh, right.
Grey, and going alongside this are accessory boxes. And one I was a little bit sceptical of at first was this brown finish, or what's termed oak. So it's obviously meant to mimic a wood finish. I thought, you know, who buys brown cars and things like that? You do see them on the road, but actually, when I've paired this up with some wood panelling we had in the unit, it actually does, almost becomes invisible. Again, paired with your favourite accessory, Gary, the rope edge brass.
Yeah, but it's in the right application, it looks great. And then we can go and say the same for the black, can't we? So when we paired it against that black surface and those beautiful black switches that we looked at before, it gave a great finish, didn't it?
Yeah, it does. So it blends in, and then, you know, where we're going to be using this a lot of the time, you know, if someone has wood panelling, but also think of desks, you know, sometimes tidying up that cabling behind a desk. You know, it doesn't have to just be a white PVC trunking stuck on the front of a wooden desk. You can blend it in with that. Obviously, a lot of furniture now, greys, silvers popular. Yeah, a lot of applications beyond what we initially think of in electrical installations.
Yeah, it is. And not only have we got a lot of colours and differing sizes, there's also some fantastic accessories. Should we take a look at those next?
Yeah. So D-line produced an extensive range of accessories to go with the trunking. So let's look at the system here, what we've built. So starting with a maxi trunking, we've then teed off it with this reducing tee down to the mini system. Follow it along, we've got an adapter that takes us straight into the box, but this is also a tee. You can also get adapters that go direct into a box. That obviously D-line produced the range of boxes as well in the colours of the system. That just clips in there very easily. Job done. That's the T version of that part in there. We've got obviously standard T's, everything else you'd expect to see, internal, external angles. There's some useful flange adapters, couplers, and this is quite a useful one that we haven't seen before in other trunking systems. So it's an adapter from the trunking system down into a 20mm entry that you might use if you're going to adapt into some metal clad accessories or perhaps emergency lighting if you're installing them. And the range, it's built like a Russian doll, it keeps on going down. So here's a mini down to a micro that might be useful in some data cabling installations. So this is a small part of the range. There's obviously an extensive range to go with this extensive range of sizes and options.
That's just a few of the many accessories in this D-line range, and we've used them over here. And I'd just like to say you spent more time in Joinery Workshop knocking up the rig than we did installing the trunking on top of the skirting. And why is it so poignant that the trunking goes on top of the skirting board?
Yeah, one of the popular uses for this is to put the D-line on top of an existing skirting board to sort of create that effect that you might have with a decorative skirting board that's popular in a lot of buildings. And by doing that, you can make it seamlessly blend in. But those accessories are great, the way they just clip on. You know, there's no mitering of corners. No. There is even, and you like this, a degree of tolerance in the length of the trunking itself. So you don't need to go all the way up to the edges. That the corner pieces can get you out of a little bit of trouble, Gary.
Yeah, and also getting yourself out of a little bit of trouble, you can actually paint it any colour you want. So if this wall was green, for instance, you could paint the trunking to blend in with that. We've used the half round here. They also do a quarter round. When I like to look at the quarter round as a use.
Yeah, so this you could create the effect that you may have a cornice in a room, so tuck it up against between the ceiling and the wall. So yeah, the quarter just fits in there. And yeah, again, let's think when we're using trunking, we're typically adding to an existing installation. You know, I don't think there's many new installations that would go out from the start with all trunking, but it's that additional socket in there, especially in these times, people having to change the use of their buildings quite a bit quickly because, you know, what regulations change on a regular basis. So I was out in York and I could see, you know, people had fitted equipment in cafe windows and just, run the cable around the bottom of a stair, where you could think actually just using the D-line trunking, so quick, so easy for those quick additions to an installation.
And we've seen it many times in commercial installations coming down, obviously feeding trunkings, etc. But also when we're thinking about mounting our TV maybe on a wall at high level, and we've got to bring all that sound system cables up to the TV as well.
Yeah, you put that smart TV, pairing it with your Betamax recorder, Gary. You've got to get that massive SCART lead down the wall, and all the other cables, games, consoles, and things like that people want to plug in. Yeah, if you don't want to be chasing out your wall, then just a little bit of trunking, either in one of the colours, or paint it to the finish, or your go-to magnolia. Yeah, a great solution.
We've also used it here in the workshop, haven't we? Where we had the metal clad accessory, and we do like that adapter, don't we? And we used that with, as I look down here, we used that with the mini trunking. Yeah. Okay, and then we used the micro one, didn't we? When we came down to a switch just with that 2-core cable for control.
Yeah, just a volt-free contact. So again, easier than using cable clips, possibly having to drill walls and things like that. It's just a quick way to tidy up cable. A lot of smart devices now come with, they look great in themselves, but there's always a lead that has to go off to a power supply. Then again, it's just a quick way to tidy up some cabling. Yeah.
We're always interested in your feedback. Are you currently using D-line trunking, or didn't you know it was out there? Now you're thinking to yourself, there's loads of applications where I can use this and it's more aesthetically pleasing in those environments. We'd love those comments. Is there an accessory we haven't mentioned, and there is many of them, and you want to leave that in the comments below? And we'll try and get back to as many of those as we can.